So, my man, what's going on?
Mike, what's happening?
Not much. How's everything in your world?
Good. Had a closing today. We made some good profits, so I'm really happy for that. Hey, do you wanna dig in a little bit deeper into how that note sale deal came about from the very beginning? Did they reach out to you? You reach out to them? Why did you decide to sell? Why did you decide to sell those notes in particular? And all the stuff in between.
Yeah. So they reached out to me a couple years ago, and I sold them, I think, 5 or 6 notes a couple years ago. We don't sell a lot of notes, but we sold them 5 or 6 notes a couple years ago. And he reached back out to me this year and said, "Hey, we've talked before. Would you like to buy your entire portfolio?" I said, "Well, if I did that, I'd kind of have to look at laying people off and whatnot. And we're not in that position. We'd like to keep what we have." And I said, "But you know what? I think you finally called me at the right time. I've got a lot of real big development projects going on and stuff, and I'd like to get a little cash heavy, so I will sell you a little chunk of it." And he told me what he was looking for criteria-wise. And so we sold him whatever was in his criteria. We cherry-picked some out and sold those to him.
So, and you said that the entire process took about 3 months from beginning to end?
It took about 2.5 months, beginning to end, and part of it was all the title companies are so overloaded. So when you bring them 40 files, they're like, "Oh God." So that took a while, and then we had a freeze in Texas, and that kind of screwed everything up for 2 weeks because everything was shut down, and then a week after they were overloaded. So we could probably do it in 6 weeks, a month to 6 weeks, maybe on the next go round, but it did take a little bit to get it done.
That's
You there, so?
Mike, you're still there?
Yep, I'm back. Are you there?
Yeah, I think I lost you there for a second. So, I do have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you. Let me
go for it,
my
man.
notes here. Oh, you gotta love technology. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Had a situation, husband and wife are getting divorced. Both signed the mortgage and the deed at closing. The wife emailed me requesting a release of liability from the mortgage. What should I do in that case?
Say that one more time for me.
A husband and wife bought the property. They're both on the mortgage and they're both on the deed. It looks like they might be getting divorced, and she emailed me asking me to release her of her liabilities on the mortgage. What should we do?
So you owner financed it to both of them?
Correct.
We don't release them. I would say no. You both made the commitment. You guys need to either figure out how the property needs to be sold. Is he getting the property in the divorce decree?
I don't know. I don't know anything about her situation other than that email that I got from her literally saying, "Please release me of the liabilities of the mortgage."
Okay, I would tell her we can't release you from the liabilities without, speaking with your attorney and looking at the divorce decree. Even then, we may not release you from the liabilities. You guys made a commitment to us. We expect that commitment to be fulfilled. And if you want to be released, we need to be paid off.
That's what I figured. Now, have you ever run into a situation where you negotiate, like if you pay down $10,000, we might release you or something like that?
We haven't ever done it. I've heard of people doing it. We've talked about doing it, but we've never done it. We usually get them to pay us off.
Okay. Next question that I had is, when I sell a note, does the borrower have to change the property insurance loss payee information?
Say that again. You're breaking up a little bit.
When I sell a note, does the borrower has to change the property insurance loss payee information
Yes.
to the new lender?
Correct.
Okay. And do we notify the borrower for that? Does the new lender do it? How is that typically done?
The new lender should do it.
Okay. Next one is, when a borrower is selling the property and wants to pay you off or pays us off, do they request a payoff quote, or is that normally done by their attorney?
We get it from both. You know, anybody can request a payoff quote, and we're happy to give it to them.
Okay. How do you notify the borrowers of an oncoming payment and shortage in the monthly payments or delinquencies? Do you give them a call? Do you send them a letter? How does that typically work?
We're big on letters. We send lots. We send 3 letters a month, and then if they start getting further behind, we start calling them. We also text them. One thing we do is we do practice fair debt collecting policies. So we start our text with, "This is an attempt to collect a debt," you know, yada 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 yada, and then we tell them what we want in the next text message.
Got it. Do you send monthly invoices with the balance statements to the borrowers?
We email them. We do not mail them.
But you do send them via email every single
Yes.
month, their balance statements.
Yep.
Okay. And the last question I have for you.
We do it through the note servicing company.
Okay. I checked on my notes, and one of the borrower has not paid for his property taxes yet. What's the typical recommended course of action in that situation?
So what we do is we have in our note and deed of trust that we can pay them and charge them whatever amount it is. I don't know what it is, but we pay it and then we start charging them. And no matter what, we get our money back when they sell the property, you know. And usually we charge them like 18% interest on tax loans.
Does that have to be put on the original agreement when they sign?
You'd have to check with your estate and with your attorney. For us, yes.
So basically, you pay the taxes, and then you charge him 18% on the monies that you pay.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I have for tonight, Mike.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you. We'll talk to you next week, man.
Bye-bye.